Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As part of today's session, we are going to do a quick walkthrough of Sitecore Connect Portal. So the first thing is how to log into the Connect instance, right? So if you in order to log into the Connect instance, you can just log into portal.sitecorecloud.io, and you just give your credentials there, and if you have access to, and if you basically have if your organization has access to Connect app, then you can just log into log into this instance there. And once you log in, this is the default screen which you're going to get there. This is a dashboard you can see. So in the dashboard screen, basically we can see what different kinds of recipes we have, what different jobs were executed, how many were successful, how many were failed. And you can also basically filter it based on last 7 days if you want to filter all your recipes, jobs and everything. And you also have a filter for projects, so we need to create projects here which we are going to see later. So you can filter everything based on your different projects, what different projects have been created there. You can also check based on recipes if there were any errors and how many recipes were active. And then you can also check it based on service and app stuff also. Then we also have a dependency graph where you can see what dependencies we have on what, so which connection is being used on which recipe. So all those dependency related stuff you can see here on the dependency graph. And then finally you have another tab for the activity audit, where you can actually see uh, that which user has logged in, and when exactly the user was logged in there. So right now you can see it's just me who was actually logged in there. And right now we're not seeing data here because this instance is idle from long, so that's why we are not seeing any kind of data here in terms of what jobs were executed, what recipes were executed. But this is the typical place where you can actually see a kind of snapshot of your configurations and your recipes. So this is from the dashboard. The second important thing to note here on the Connect portal is the projects, right? So project is something we have to create the project. So whenever we want to start, whenever we start working on Connect and we want to integrate two different systems, we need to create projects. And projects can be, you can actually create projects for your different needs, for your different business rules. So right now we have different projects created here, and for us the project which we have created is this SUG India. This was created long back, but yeah, this is the project which we created. And once you have this project, on the right hand side you will see an option to create recipe, connection and folder, right? So folder is just to again better organize your stuff here. So let's say if you want to create something under this project folder, like let's say if you want to create a connection folder, or if you want to create a dedicated recipe folder, right, you can do that. So this is what you will find under project. So you need to, under once the project is created, you need to create a connection, which is a mandatory thing to exist before even you start working on recipes. And then recipe, which internally will use this connection which you have set it up here. Then on the settings section also you can see what different descriptions you have defined here. So basically who has access to what, all those details you can see here. So just to reiterate, like we need to create a project, and inside project there exists the recipes, there exists connections, and there we can better organize it by creating different folder structure there. So here also you can see we have different different line items here. You can see like here it basically shows the webhooks, it shows the what integration we are doing here. So all those things basically we can see here, right? And basically we're going to see how exactly the connection looks, the recipe looks in detail. Maybe we can do it in a dedicated session, but I'll just try to give a bit more about connections and recipes right after completing a couple of things here. So on the community library, you can see so there's a third tab which you can see here. So on the community library, we have recipes and custom connectors. So recipes are, again, as I mentioned before in my previous session, that recipes are all about your business flows, right? So if you want to do something we need to build up a case, and that case is nothing but your recipe, which internally uses different other things also. So here also different recipes exist based on different categories, right? So you can see on the left hand side there are different categories exist, and based on those categories there are some recipes which are actually available out of the box. So those recipes are nothing but apps, as I mentioned in the last video also I mentioned there are 5,000 plus apps available out of the box. So same thing, like these apps are nothing but your recipes. Like we can see here different acid recipes exist. And the next thing is connectors also, right? So let's say there are something when you want to do something custom, right, and you don't see a connector for that. You want to connect to you want to connect to you want to connect two different systems, and you're not seeing any build up existing connector for that. So you can actually create your own connectors also, right? And there are some connectors which are maintained by our community, so you can see all those different connectors here. Then we have a tool section. Here also you'll find different options like common data models, connector SDK, how to basically use this connector SDK, environment properties. So there are different other things which I have not explored all of them. So yeah, but you can also see all those things, and we also have connections here. So on a very high level, basically when you log into your Connect portal, you'll find a dashboard which gives you a snapshot of your existing recipes and your project's configuration. Then you will find different existing projects. You can create new projects if you want. You can define your business flow there by creating those recipes. You have to create the connections first, and then the community library, as I mentioned, you will find different recipes and the connectors which are available out of the box. So just to give a bit more about the connections and the recipes. So once we have the project, we actually have to create a connection, which you can simply just create by selecting a new connection, and then you can specify that based what kind of connections you're looking for. Let's say if you're looking to connect a content hub 1, for example, right? So you can search for content hub 1. So probably we should find one. So right, you can see like we have this connection here. So likewise you can see if you are looking for something, you can actually search for those connections, and you can actually get things going there. So and this is basically, it shows your instance, your tenant, what tenant you're actually using, and your organization needs to have a valid access to this app, Connect app. You basically have to make sure that the app exists as part of your organization account, account you're using, and if the account exists, then you should have access to that app also, and your team members can actually invite you. So this is what you will find when you first log into Connect portal, right? About your recipes, your different projects, what different connections you have there, and you will also see what different projects you have. If you want to create a new project, you can simply create a new project, define your project a name, define it a description, create a project, and then after this point, any new uh, business flow you want to define, if that is specific to this project, then you can just use this project as an as a parent item for that. So all your connections, your recipes, all will get organized under this particular project. So you can do all those things which we will see later. And then yeah, everything else I've just showed you, that under each project their connection can exist, recipes can exist, folder you can better organize it, and then on the recipes, which internally uses those triggers and actions and all those things will exist as part of your recipe configuration. So all those things exist right after creating your project. And community library and tools. So this is what I just wanted to cover today. So just to give you a kind of heads up that how exactly your Connect portal looks like when you log into your Connect instance for the first time, and this is what we have there. So if you have any questions around it in terms of what different options, what we just checked, if you have any questions around any of those things, you can just feel free to ask, and we'll try to discuss it as part of our next sessions. And thanks for your time. Thank you.